most of these new writers don't have the love of comics like these older writers had. And all they care about is, how can I put myself in the book? No, we don't care what you would do if you were Iron Man. We don't care who you are. You're writing Tony Stark. You're not writing yourself in a book. If that's the case, write your own comic with you in it. No one will read it because nobody cares. People grew up, are growing up loving Peter Parker, loving Miles Morales, loving all these Captain America. We don't need you to put your input in it. Just write Steve Rogers. Don't write Steve Rogers. What would Steve Rogers be if I was Steve Rogers? That's not how it works. But that's again how most of these new people write nowadays. That's why most of the stuff is shit.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Good evening and salutations, everybody. It is I, Decrepit, the hooded lad in the corner of the cantina, and we are back again on a Monday night for a beautiful hangout with your floppy stream where we talk comic books, new releases of the week, and recommendations, things that I've been reading myself. It's great to have all of everybody here that's in the chat so far that I saw. We saw a couple people in here, but I think chat actually reset on me for some reason on mobile. I can't see, and neither on the StreamYard comment section. But regardless, no matter, we are here and we are live, and I'm ready to get things going for you. Hail D3, I just picked up the Guys book number 50, the landmark issue that paired Guys up with the Scholar. Right? Did you mention Guys before? I can't remember or not, if possible, but that's what's up. Good to hear that. Guys, also to announce it, I did make the Discord server. We are live with it. I posted it up on X the other day and on the YouTube post section for the community. I said, fuck it, we'll do it live. Kind of like that old Bill O'Reilly video that went viral of him being uncensored. But anyway, the Discord is live. If you guys want to go check out what we got going on over there, the servers, most of it is private. There is a lot of private channels in the Discord server currently right now. But if you guys go ahead and enter through the welcome mat via the link, you guys can go ahead and enter and let us know who you are on YouTube. And if you're a friend of the show, friend of the channel, we'll gladly accept you in. If not, then we'll probably ask you a couple questions and see where your head's at, see if you're right fit for the place. So let us know if you are interested in that. And if you guys want to go ahead and check it out, the Discord link is live in the chat tonight. And we already had a few more people trickle in. Let's go ahead and say hi. Leland March is in the building. Hello, what is up, Leland? Good to see you. And then we got, no, there is another. D3, hello. What's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you in the chat. And all right, let's go ahead and get started, guys. I am geared up and I'm ready. I'm firing on all cylinders tonight. No Jawa juice, no death sticks partaken tonight. We are strictly sober dober for the evening. Let's go ahead and click this. We are, of course, going to be pulling up the new releases as we always do on leagueofcomicgeeks.com in their new release tab. All right, so here we go. We got it lined up. Let's go ahead and go through some of the books that are going to be releasing in your local shop, your LCS, this week on Wednesday. Wednesday being December the 10th. Yeah, because today is the 8th as of this recording. All right. So December 10th is new release day for this week. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and blow this one up so we can take a better look at it. We got Absolute Batman number 15 is finally hitting the shelf this week. This is the ultimate climax book for the Absolute Batman line thus far, I should say. I won't say ultimate climax because who knows where Scott Snyder is going to take this issue this time. But this is the final reveal of Absolute Joker. The reveal was already teased in like a lot of the variants that got leaked in the previews and what have you. So a lot of people already knew what he looked like. But the Joker in this line of Batman story looks kind of just like a straight up demon. Looks like a just straight up demon bat out of hell, almost, if you want to say. Like, look at that thing. It's kind of wicked looking, but it's also like, come on, man. Like, this looks too much like Venom from Marvel, if you ask me. That's just kind of where my head's at when I see that. Oh, I didn't mean to close that. There's like, God damn it. The arrow moves every time, guys. You can see, so bear with me. So many variant covers too for this issue. This is going to be like a big battle and a showdown. Like, look at that thing. That's just gnarly looking. Just looks like demon shit. Like, I don't have a problem. I like gnarly looking demon shit, but like this just it doesn't even feel like Joker, man. Like that milky eye, that's creepy. Yeah, but you guys can be the judge of this. Maybe you guys want to pick up a couple of these variants because you like the artwork. I don't blame you. You could do, you could do as you please. But the origin for this is that this version of Joker in the Absolute run, he's actually the rich philanthropist of Gotham City. So it's kind of like a switch on the roles. Bruce Wayne being like the street kid that lived in the slums of Gotham City's underbelly, coming up in the orphanage that he met several of the Rogues Gallery members in that aren't actually even technically his Rogues Gallery. They're actually his friends in this storyline. So this is a nice little switch up that they had on the role play. This one looks like some real anime design right there. So yeah, to be determined exactly how this. I'm just saying, dude, like the jagged and the mouthful of teeth and like the slobbery tongue, like Venom owns that. I don't know. Maybe some people can disagree with me, and maybe you guys might feel a certain type of way when you look at this. But I just feel I feel particularly that Venom kind of owns the slobbery tongue with the big sharp teeth grin. That's just kind of me though. But all right, plenty of variants. The synopsis that they wrote for this was Scott Snyder reunites with legendary artist Jock. Alfred reveals to Bruce the story of the man he's been chasing for years. Enter Joker. Scott Snyder and Jock reunite for an epic tale in the Absolute Universe. So there you go. Not really too much of a spoiler. Not a whole lot to go off of as far as a synopsis goes. But go pick this up for yourself. This will be dropping this Wednesday at your LCS. Absolute Batman issue number 15. All right, let's go ahead and back out of that one. Let's get back to the regular lineup for the week. Real quick, before we go any further, we're going to take our time. Some of these are worth discussing over like a few minutes each, so we can take our time tonight. Don't have a whole lot going on. Scholar is basically the dude from the Big Lebowski. Excuse me, I had a burp. Was an immortal alchemist wielding the Philosopher's Stone. He's also integral to Guy's character and development. Okay, right on. Also looks like Violator from Spawn. Yeah, that I kind of thought that as well. Jock. Seriously, his name is Jock. Well, some of these artists go by like handle names. Like there's an artist that goes by the name of Buzz, and that's just what he calls his like his artist tag is just known as Buzz. So that's definitely a thing. There's a lot of artists that go off of just like hand names, kind of like how novel writers and authors go by like pen names. That's just the thing they do, SWA, I hate the Force. What's up, SWA? Hail. Welcome in, bro. Always good to see you. Like I said, guys, we have everybody kind of trickling in now, but we did put it in the chat for tonight's live show. The Discord is live. Go check out the server or go check out the welcome mat. We will determine whether or not you guys can pass through the veil and into the shadow realm that is Decrepit's corner of the cantina. We discuss comic books, we discuss stuff from the tirade, all the tisms and what have you. Friends of the channel are all welcome. So go check that out whenever you guys have the chance. All right, let's go ahead and continue on with these. We're looking at the new comics releasing this week for Wednesday. We got Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 23 hitting the shelf this week. Ultimate Wolverine number 12 as well. Those Ultimate line books are still they're still pumping those out. I have heard that Ultimate Spider-Man is kind of slowing down as far as popularity goes, but everybody's still kind of clinging on to that one as like the main book to still grab from the Ultimate line. Hickman kicked off that series when it was off the jump when it first came out, basically, and I think he abandoned it. Like I want to say 10 issues in, he like hopped off to go work back on something else. But yeah, if you guys want to go check that out, give it a try. I'm not reading anything personally from Marvel like that, so I can't really speak on it. But yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man number 23 is coming out this week. I will jump over, however, there are some people in the chat and friends of the channel that have been clamoring about the Skybound Image book Transformers. And Transformers, I bought the first volume trade. I have issues 1 through 6, I believe, in the first trade, and then the second trade is on its way from the website. But this week we're getting Transformers issue number 27. We got Soundwave on the cover of this one. Cover art by Dan Pinoja. And you know what, dude? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, I love Transformers. I grew up watching Transformers as a child. I love the G1 era. Of course, it's goated. No one can fuck with G1. And a lot of this book is pretty much basically inspired and design wise all pretty true to G1 canon design. But I will say this, I'm a fan of Armada and Energon are pretty entertaining as far as like the cartoons go. As when it comes to down to the comic line, I never really finished the Marvel comic line for Transformers. A lot of the later issues are really kind of hard to find, and a lot of low print runs on those. That's another topic for another day. But I will say that some of the Armada comic lines from like the early 2000s, I did dabble in, and those were pretty entertaining. I had a fun time reading those, man, as a younger guy, as a younger kid or younger teenager. I don't know, man. I'm getting old. I don't care anymore. But yeah, Transformers number 27 is hitting the shelf. That's going to be one of the variants. You got the sick ass Optimus Prime side profile variant right there. That's done by Comics Bjorn Barons. He did this one. That was the white and black, and then this is the full splash color. And then you got see these ones right here by this is Zhang Zhang, Big Time Collectibles Zhang Zhang foil variant. I'm not a fan of this style because when you get it, like physically, when you get this copy, it just looks like a mess, absolute mess. A lot of the lines are blurred, and when you print this, I don't know, the printing on these just don't really hit for me. So that's all I'm gonna say. And then you got this B variant cover with Optimus, and who's that right there? I don't want to misspeak. I don't know who this Transformer is exactly. Somebody in the chat could probably tell me. And then this is another color variant with RC. Is that RC on the cover? Looks pretty sick. And that's 6 out of 9. Let's see what the other ones look like. Oh, it's a spoiler cover. Soundwave on this one again. That's a Dan Mora cover. That's pretty nice. I like this one. That's the 1 in 50 what's the word? Ratio incentive. So right on. Transformers number 27. Oh, I scrolled all the way down. Go check that out if you guys are a Transformers fan. I might pick that up just because I want this Soundwave cover. This regular one right here by Dan Pinoja, that looks sick as fuck, man. All right, let's go ahead and get back to the main lineup. We're still only on the first row. That never happens. I'm taking my time tonight. We're not just skimming through. Let's see from the chat real quick. Mitra has failed me for the last time. Right on. SWA was commenting on the recent short that I posted up because I'm getting my ass handed to me by Kreia or Darth Treya on KOTOR 2. I am just really, really frustrated with that boss fight. But anyway, I had to let you guys share in my my dismay. Plot twist: Decrepit has a Millennium item. Oh fuck! Why would you tell anybody? The Jedi were fools. They were. Keep dropping the quotes during the stream, SWA. I'm here for it. That was Thundercracker. Okay, the Transformer next to Optimus. Why do you think I'm Treya? Oh, come on. Come on. It's clear as day who you are. All right, continuing on with the comic book releases for Wednesday. Amazing Spider-Man number 17 is going to hit the shelf. No one talks about Amazing Spider-Man anymore. Such a shame. I think it's this is Legacy issue. Here, let me click on it. I have to blow it up because I don't have my glasses on. Legacy issue number 981. 981 issues of Amazing Spider-Man. and no one cares anymore. That's just sad, isn't it? Such a sad thing to admit and say. How the mighty have fallen. All right, moving on after that, we got Action Comics number 1093. Haven't been dabbling in that Action Comics, so I can't really speak too much on that. Again, from Marvel with the Ultimate line, we got Ultimate Black Panther number 23 hitting the shelf as well. And then we got Batman and Robin number 28. Now, I was watching a video from somebody who I kind of respect their opinion of. I believe his name is That Real Comic Geek. I want to say if I'm butchering his YouTube name, I apologize, but the guy's name is Dylan, and he was talking about how Batman and Robin has been a pretty decent treat from the DC lineup. And there's not too many things from DC that are that impressive, like the Absolute line. Sure, if you want like the gimmicky stuff that Snyder's been pumping out, but Philip Kennedy Johnson, I don't know too much of his like rap with like the comic community because I'm not privy to everything that he's wrote. But this one I've been hearing has been pretty interesting. Synopsis for this one reads: The Quiet Man closes in. The Quiet Man's murderous rampage across Gotham's underworld zeroes in on his true target, Arnold Wesker, the ventriloquist. Can the dynamic duo stop this unstoppable new foe before he fulfills his savage vendetta? So we got a ventriloquist issue. That's pretty interesting. And then we got Fico Osio on art, and then Marcelo Malloy on color as the colorist. So I've heard good things about this one, man. So maybe I might check this out. Maybe I'll thumb through it in the shop before I actually purchase it and see if it's something that I might pick up. Oh, all right. Let's go ahead and scroll down. Row number 2, we're back on it. Aquaman number 12 will be hitting the shelf. And then following that, IDW Publishing is going to be putting out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 13. It's going to hit the shelf for all my Turtle fans. Then back to DC Comics, we got DC KO, Wonder Woman versus Lobo, issue number 1. Now we can go ahead and click on this one real quick. The KO is just another like even more gimmick shit to throw on top of like the absolute universe. And this one right here, it says witness the ultimate smackdown as 2 heavy hitters fight for the crown. I'm not gonna lie though, like Lobo like matching up against Wonder Woman is a pretty interesting matchup if you're gonna have like characters fighting against one another. So that cover's kind of nice. It's by Joelle Jones. This variant. It's kind of cool. Elizabeth Torque. Why does she got? Look at that fat ass bicep on Wonder Woman. That's just kind of like she doesn't need to look buff. She just is like strong because she's a fucking god character. But right on. So that's coming out. I'm not, like I said, I'm not is that a Frank Miller? That's not a Frank. It looks like Frank Miller artwork on this one, doesn't it? Right there on the main cover. Anyway, moving on from that. Real quick, so I can hear you guys in chat. Apathy is death. Yes, apathy is death. I suffered indignities. Nice. I like turtles. My sister might like that. Which one? The Wonder Woman and Lobo? All right, let's go ahead and get back down here. Guys, appreciate you always all the regulars that show up for these streams, man. I really appreciate you guys, man. You guys make me keep wanting to do this. Just a heads up and shout out to all of you guys. Following after that, we got from Marvel Spider-Man and Wolverine number 8 is hitting the shelf, and then after that we got Infernal Hulk number 2. Now I know that I talked shit about there was a one shot that hit last week that I kind of like said like what the fuck when I saw the artwork, and I was just like I didn't know what it was, but I finally ended up checking it out, and it was Hulk Smashes Everything. If I'm not mistaken, that was the name of the book. And man, dude, it was just so boring. So boring, lackluster, a whole lot of nothing going on. Hulk tries to take on Doctor Strange, and like Doctor Strange is trying to figure out what's wrong with him, and then it turns out the leaders behind the brainwashing of Hulk, making him want to like fucking tear up his friends. And then Hulk gets thrown through a portal and sent to like a dimension or time period where there's nothing but dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs start fucking Hulk up. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot, but a whole lot of nothing. That's what it feels like to me. So I didn't really care for that book. But then we got Philip Kennedy Johnson on this book again for something this week. And then this synopsis reads out: Rule all monsters. The infernal Hulk's conquest of Earth has begun. Hulk turns his eye to Atlantis, where an ancient evil has slept for eons, awaiting the call of the Mother of Horrors. But will Gathel, the Endless, I don't know how you say that name, be content to serve Hulk rather than rule Earth in his mother's place? Meanwhile, Earth's mightiest heroes frantically scour the Earth for the only one who might hold the key to victory. Where, if he's even still alive, is Bruce Banner? So that's going to be hitting the shelf. Infernal Hulk #2. Well, that cover is kind of weird looking. Yeah, this might. What the fuck? And then we have a Venom, a nullified variant. Oh my gosh, they'll just do anything, won't they, nowadays? All right, we can just get out of there. I don't really care about that. I wanted to take a look at it because I like the Hulk as a character, and I'm always interested to see if they're going to do him right, but evidently not. Supergirl #8 from DC is up next on the lineup. And then we got from Image Comics, Assorted Crisis Events #7. From a Marvel again, we got Unbreakable X-Men #3. And then shooting over to DC Comics, we got Green Lantern Corps #11. Green Lantern Corps, I have not been keeping up with. This one's being written by a woman named Morgan Hampton, and it's just kind of like all over the place, especially with following this Green Lantern girl named Ellie. And I don't really have any kind of care or desire to follow the story of this character. And then Kelly, Aya, and Vexaru and Narf. I'm just kind of not about like these characters in particular. So I'm not following this one personally. Will Conrad on the art, though, he's a great artist. I like his stuff. That I will say about it. All right, we're scrolling back down. We're on like row 4 now. We got New Avengers #7, and then after that one, we got Marvel Knights Punisher issue #3, Nova Centaurian issue #2, Sinister 6 issue #3, and then another Marvel banger, all new Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider #5. That's a mouthful and a half. And then we got Iron and Frost issue #3. A lot of Marvel trash, it seems. Long Shots #3. I remember seeing the older Long Shot books in the dollar bin, actually the 50-cent bin, if I'm not mistaken. Jumping back over to DC Comics, we got Batman Gotham by Gaslight, A League for Justice #6. That's another mouthful and a half. From Image Comics, we got G.I. Joe Real American Hero issue #323. I want to actually look at the cover for this because the cover for this looks pretty ill. I like the cover on this one. Andy Kubert on the cover. Nice Cobra Commander pose. Nice. We got Jamie Tyndall variant. That's pretty sick. Then we got the black and white Steve Beck cover. This is the 1:10 ratio cover. And then the John Herbert cover. Yeah. All right, cool. That's G.I. Joe. I just wanted to see the G.I. Joe covers. I like the way G.I. Joe looks. I don't read their new books. The older stuff from the 80s, of course. I've read a little bit of that here and there. I actually should get like a trade paperback of the old G.I. Joe or an omnibus, whatever comes first. The End 2099 issue #1 from Marvel Comics is hitting. And then we got Spirits of Violence issue #3. Spirits of Vengeance was the old school like Marvel Ghost Rider team up. I think it's with Ghost Rider and Venom, if I'm not mistaken. But this time around, we got Spirits of Violence. From Image Comics, following that up, we got I Hate Fairyland issue #46. We got Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger Spawn issue #11. Witchblade issue number 17, also from Image Comics. And then we got Blood and Thunder number 8. And then from Image Comics, we have the new volume of a reopening of The Darkness. And we got The Darkness issue number 1. This one is going to be written by Mark Silvestri. We got pencils by Ed Beans and then Sal Regla. Even Matt Banning's on this one. Pretty cool. But The Darkness, if no one knew, that was like an OG, like Image Top Cow publishing book that put out, like, they put out The Darkness, they put out Tomb Raider, and many other ones that were kind of like the darker side of like Image Comics stuff, and a lot of the video game properties too that they had under that belt. But the synopsis for this one reads: the new release of The Darkness, in a world, in a world consumed by shadows. One man becomes the darkness. Jackie Estacado you guys can decide, is back, thrust into a supernatural war between the dark and the light in a no-holds-barred adventure where the edge of our reality grinds against supernatural forces grappling for control over each other in the waking world. Mafia hitman Jackie Estacado was both blessed. I mean, he's Italian, so it's Estacado. I'm going to say that. Jackie Estacado was both blessed and cursed on his 21st birthday when he became the bearer of the darkness, an elemental force that allows those who wield it access to an otherworldly dimension and control over the demons who dwell there. Forces in the world rise up to face Jackie and the evil his gift represents. There is one small problem in this story: evil is good. Right on, man. I might go check this out, dude. A nice little revamp for The Darkness. I'm a fan of this, and if you guys have ever played the video game back in the day, you guys would know this game was really fucking kick-ass. The Darkness is dope. Some good little variants right here, too. Some nice ladies, guys. Is this the part where we start gooning? This is the part where we start. Oh, let's go back. Oh, it's the part we start gooning, guys. Remember, last week it was Vampirella covers. This time it can be this broad from The Darkness. Maybe not that one. That one's kind of looking a little funky. But hell yeah, right on. The Darkness. I'm going to give this a read. I'm going to check it out. Definitely will. Oh, that's a good one. That's one sick. Who did this one? Shell Beast Smunchy. It's Neil Cervantes. Okay, there we go. It was Neil Cervantes cover. That's pretty sick. That's badass as fuck. Good artwork. Yeah, they got 19 different variant covers because this is like the cartoon stuff looks nice too. Man, that's Jason Turner. Fuck yeah. Right on. The Darkness coming back to you. New volume. Go check it out. Let's get back to it. Let's check out the chat real quick. I feel like I've been leaving you guys hanging for a while. Decrepit, did you hear that Marvel isn't paying any royalties to Miles Morales, the original artist? I believe it. Sounds per usual on Marvel's watch. That sounds per usual. Supergirl trailer short looks terrible. They put out a short for the Supergirl trailer. Oh God, maybe I'll go see if we can look at it. Decrepit, did you hear that a recent biography comic on Ichiro Oda, One Piece's creator, confused him with Legend of Zelda's Eiji Oyonuma? No, I did not. I did not know that. Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch. Yeah. Estacado. Okay. Molta bene. The angel lady looks like Tosh from Dragon Age Veilguard. Yeah, she does. Yeah, there is no other. You definitely have a type. I do. I like the dangerous ladies. I like the vampire ladies and the demonic ladies. They all look great to me. I'm a fan of Tim Vigil, man. If you guys don't know Tim Vigil's artwork, he does all the dark and twisted looking women. His stuff's great. He does women very well. Oh, I see a Vampirella Armageddon book down here. We're gonna probably have another cover to goon over. All right, getting back to it. We're almost done. IDW is putting out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures issue number 3 this Wednesday, and then from Bad Idea Comics, we got something called Ordained issue number 1. I'm gonna look at this one. Let's check this one out, guys. I've never heard of Bad Idea Comics, and I've never heard of this one. This is from Robert Venditti. Okay. And it reads Robert Venditti joins forces with powerhouse artist Trevor Hairsine and 10-time Eisner Award winner colorist Dave Stewart to deliver a brutal, no holds barred action crime comic that will leave you breathless. We didn't talk about this one before, did we, guys? I don't think we did. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read this. Father Royston Craig became a priest late in life, but he's determined to make up for lost time. Along with his regular duties at his St. Louis church, he also performs the prayers of the last rites to patients on their deathbeds at the nearby hospital. One day, he's called to give these sacraments to Cormac Byrne, who doctors say won't last the night. Byrne, like many others, has turned to God only at the end. He hasn't been to church in decades. Father Roy is eager to hear his confession, but what starts as petty crime from a lifetime ago quickly becomes a horrifying litany of gangland violence and killings. Cormac Byrne is no ordinary man. He is, in fact, the head of the Irish Mafia. God offers forgiveness to all who truly repent, and Father Roy completes his task by absolving Byrne of his mortal sins, leaving the man to die at peace until the next morning when Byrne makes a miraculous medical recovery. No longer at death's door, Byrne is quick to return to his old ways. It's business as usual, and he's got loose ends to tie up. First things first, kill the priest. Sick. Who now knows where all the bodies are buried. But Father Roy's collar wasn't always white, and Byrne is going to learn the hard way that Father Royston Craig was once Chief Petty Officer Royston Craig, a former Navy SEAL who found his faith in the midst of battle. Now Father Roy must face vicious gangsters, corrupt cops, and his own inner demons if he is to survive, and he will be forced to tap into a violent skill set he thought never to again entertain. The one thing Father Roy will not do is kill. So we got Batman as a priest. That's all I heard. We got Batman, a priest Batman. He's got one rule: I don't kill. You're gonna break that one rule tonight. Oh, look at these variants. These are fucking ridiculous. Martin Savala. Oh my god. This is great. Of course, we got an upside down cross one. Oh man, this is gonna be hilarious. This might surprise a lot of you guys. This possibly could be entertaining. I think the name of the publishing company, Bad Idea Comics, fits this quite well. This could either be very good, or very bad. I'm intrigued. I might see. My local shop might not carry this, so I might have to see if a shop in one of the surrounding towns might pick this up, because this seems like something that my shop owner would probably only pick up by request. All right, let's go ahead and back out. You gutless simp. I know. That father guy looks like the idolater, one of Fanatic's villains. He kind of does, doesn't he? All right, we're almost wrapped up, guys. Do not worry. Do not worry your pretty little heads. Uh scroll down. Reverse. Okay. The Terminator Metal issue number 3 from Dynamite Comics. And then we got from Dark Horse Comics Star Wars Tales from the Nightlands number 3. Oh my gosh, this looks like Finn on the cover from the sequel trilogy. I bet they're still just making stories of him to be like, no, guys, look, he had a fulfilled career in the Resistance. Get the fuck out of here. After that, we got IDW Publishing Star Trek Lower Decks issue number 14. We got Star Wars Hyperspace Stories Codebreaker number 4. Fake Star Wars is more like it. From Mad Cave Studios, we got It Killed Everyone But Me issue number 4. That looks like a nice little body horror cover series. I might have to give that one a gander. We got Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 2 from Nickelodeon. And then, of course, we got another Vampirella book. This is Vampirella Armageddon issue number 6. Let's go ahead and do it, guys. I'll read the synopsis before I lose my mind over the variants. Return of Hemorrhage. Ooh, Hemorrhage. I haven't seen him since like the Harris line. Actually, that's a character that I do know. that hit Vampirella and Hemorrhage had like a mini series back in like the 90s through Harris Comics, and it was like 2 or 3 issues long. Pretty nice little event. But the synopsis continues saying, as Vampirella and Walker continue to make their way across the burning plains of hell and fight through its hostile hordes, a vision of Vampirella's mother, Lilith, plagues the daughter of Draculon. Meanwhile, more heroes from Sepulchre City are heading down to the increasingly popular Infernal Realm, where people are literally dying to get in. Right on. Sounds cool. We got Tom Snagowski writing this one, and let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and check out the variants, guys. Let's just do it. Right on. We got a cover B by Leslie Lee variant. Very nice, very classy. That's nice. She's laying on like a bed where there's some like rose petals around. I like that. Looks very nice. We got another Joseph Michael Linzer variant. I always love Linzer. Always a classic. Always a class act. Very nice. Aha! There we go. The cosplay variant. That's the only one we care about. The real women. Yeah, she looks like she has a great personality. This cover really shines her immense technical knowledge and know-how. Her brains are on display here in full force. Very, very nice, guys. We love all that kind of stuff, don't we? We love empowering women over here. And then we got the Virgin variant for the Francisco Matina variant, and the Virgin variant for the cosplay cover. Very nice. Nice boots, too. All right. Okay. We'll just get enough of that. Last time we kind of dwelled on it too long last time, so we'll get out of there real quick. I did that for the boys, though. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I ended up hitting backspace. The mouse has a button where it'll take me back sometimes, like a fucking dick. All right, the next row, we're almost done. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, The Seeds of Salvation, issue number 4 is hitting the shelf. After that, we got Free Planet number 7 from Image Comics. From Viz Media, we got One Piece, issue number 1168 or 1168, whatever you want to say. From Oni Press, we have the first line from the Chills suspense stories, and this is Shiver Suspense Stories, issue number 1. Let's go ahead and check this out. I love always looking at the EC line. A lot of people are kind of split. A lot of the horror and terror lines from the new EC volumes have kind of been like, they're like we all know that there's multiple stories in these books, about like 2 or 3, give or take, per issue. But I know that for a fact that a couple of these, like the ones that was called Catacombs, I think it was called Torment Catacombs, if I'm not mistaken. And that one, in every single story on that issue, every story in that one hit. It hit pretty good. So we have some of these lines that don't hit. Some of the stories in them are kind of bunks. Either the cover stands out more than the actual content in the inside. You never know how people feel. It's always in the eye of the beholder. But the synopsis for this one reads, and this is Shiver Suspense Stories from the Chills line. As if the holidays weren't horrific enough, EC Comics and Oni Press are back to stab your stocking for the second year, running with the all-new, all-terrifying tales of holiday horror and Christmas time catastrophe as Shiver Suspense Stories slays again. In this year's giant-sized 56-page tome of gruesomely gift-wrapped delights, we're tying perpetual knot-listers David Boer, Melissa Flores, George Northey, and Ben Winters to the dried-out Christmas tree in the family parlor. And gathering round as artistic tormentors in training, Sammy Cavella, Dan McDade, and more surprising guests throw a few lit matches their way to get this old-fashioned solstice sacrifice started in style. Whole lot of S's right there. Yes, we know, it smells like dinner might be getting a little overdone. Never fear, because EC's newest annual tradition also comes complete with an extra added EC Comics classic, newly restored back to its authentic original coloring. As you sift through the charred remains, just remember, Shiver Suspense Stories is here to bring the horror back to holidays, and we wouldn't want it any other way. Well, there's not really much of synopsis there as far as what's inside the book, but it is jam-packed with a lot of art and writers and editors, so hopefully it could be good. That's an interesting one right there. She looks like she's puking in his mouth, but I'm assuming it's probably like passing some kind of like demon or disease or pathogen, spore even. Oh, there we go. That's really reminiscent. I like that one. That's a good cover. About to just take a swing at that head right there. Merry Christmas to my wife. Oh yeah, wives killing husbands, a classic tale. Nice little ooh, that one's cool. A little artist variant. I like that. And then this is the 150 cover. Okay, all right. Right on. Right on. Sounds good. I think this is the best cover out of the lot. Looks really good. I like the green going against the red and the title. Looks good. Maybe we can get a read on that and review it next week. Maybe if we get our hands on that one. All right. All right. I think that might be it for the ones I wanted to cover this week, guys. I'm just gonna scroll down just to do a little double check. We got Street Sharks number 3. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. Street Sharks has been taking its sweet time coming out. That one's just kind of like losing hype. I don't really know a whole lot of people that are actually keeping up with that one. And then we got more of like the obscure independent stuff. We got Captain Henry in the Graveyard of Time number 2 from Dark Horse Comics, Blade Runner, Black Lotus, Las Vegas issue number 3 from Titan Comics, Ignition Press. We got The Beauty issue number 2, and then in the next row we got uh, Mad Cave Studios, Look Into My Eyes issue number 5. Death to Pachuco, issue number 3 from Image Comics. And I think that might be it on as far as what to cover, guys. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We talked about it last time, but Star Wars Insider number 235. That's the last Star Wars Insider magazine that's going to be in physical print. And then they are abandoning the physical magazine. They whether they're or not they're going to be doing digital. I mean, who gives a shit? Because this is all like Disney Star Wars stuff anyway. So I don't really care too much about that. But if you guys are Disney Star Wars fans, you shouldn't even be watching the stream, should you? All right. I think that might be it, man. I think that might be it as far as what I want to cover for new releases. We are 41 minutes in, and I think we spoke enough. We jabbed our jaw quite a bit enough on new books. So we can go ahead and stop sharing that screen. We can get me back on the main center real quick. There we go. Real quick. Disney Star Wars films and TV shows. Yep. Not the great personality. Oh yeah, dude. We love women with huge personality over here. They look like the old Tomb of the Bizarre stories. Yeah, kind of. I know. Yeah, I hear you. The Haunted Horror or Haunt of Fear was something I picked up a couple issues of that, but the reprints, of course, reprints of the Haunt of Fear, because like originals, that's pre-code era stuff, and original books like that are very, very pricey. Golden Age and pre-code are very pricey books. Huge personality is the best. What's up, John? John Gets Gaming. How's it going, John? Good to see you. Yeah, we love the ladies with the huge personalities over here on the Decrepit channel, for certain, for certain. All right, guys. I know it's been talked about, and the news kind of broke to me. It was news to me when we last did Unlimited Tirade. It was me and Keely knocking it around last week. We had a great time talking about a whole lot of tism shit. It was really good time, man. But anyway, the whole fuss has been about, let me get John's comment down. Sorry about that. The whole fuss has been about this whole deal going on who's buying DC. Netflix was it seemed like Netflix was in the run for this, but now apparently there's been this whole deal about Paramount throwing down their dick onto the table with an extra bit of money, because what it says right here, Netflix won a contentious auction to acquire Warner Bros, securing a $72 billion equity deal to purchase TV, film studios, and streaming assets. But it appears so that Paramount just slapped the fat one on the table and said, "Bam, bitch, 108 billion. What do you got to say about that?" So the article is from comicbook.com, okay, for the night on this read, and it goes as follows. It says, the streaming wars are over. should be disproved by regulators. Over the weekend, President Donald Trump weighed in and assured that he will personally be involved in the approval process. That is so wild how the government has to like approve this kind of stuff. But I guess like this falls under like the pretense of like monopoly laws and different people like gaining too much influence and power in the pop culture and the airwaves and TV markets. So I way more stuff than my simple little brain can comprehend. But it reads more as it goes. It says, now Paramount has weighed in with the hostile bid to try to overturn the auction's results. Unlike Netflix, I can't talk tonight to save my life, Paramount has bid for the entirety of Warner Bros. Discovery with no divesting of assets. Netflix's rival is offering an enterprise value of 108.4 billion, including 18 billion more in cash than the Netflix offer. It's being offered directly to shareholders, with Paramount insisting the board has not made the right decision in opting for Netflix. Quote, despite Paramount submitting 6 proposals over the course of 12 weeks, WBD never engaged meaningfully with these proposals, which we believe deliver the best outcome for WBD shareholders, end quote. Paramount said in an official statement, quote, Paramount has now taken its offer directly to Warner Brother Discovery shareholders and its board of directors to ensure they have the opportunity to pursue this clearly superior alternative, end quote. And then it says the fate of Warner Brothers is far from decided. Yeah, I would agree, but we all know that, like, dude, if Netflix buys them, then we all know. And I said it, I put it out on X in like a fucking tweet the other day. The theater experience is already fucking barely hanging on as it is. A lot of people don't really go to theaters anymore. A lot of people There's a lot of people that still go to theaters, but there's way more that don't because of the access and the convenience of streaming stuff. You know what I mean? So they're trying to push out the physical meetups, the physical walking to the theater, and the box office is tanking because of it. Not just because of the theater stuff, that's in its own problem in itself, but the box office tanking because people put out shit movies. Companies and conglomerates got comfortable with all of this bullshit that they've just been making, thinking they were just going to print easy money and not have to put a lot of effort into it. And this is the result, man. A lot of people also are just fading out and phasing out. I meant to say phasing first, but they're phasing out physical media opposed over digital. So that's also something that's kind of frustrating to deal with as somebody who was a product of like the 90s, and I grew up with like CDs and cassette tapes and vinyl records and what have you. So it's just a little bit kind of nerve wracking for me. It continues saying, speaking to Reuters, industry analyst Ross Beans predicted continued uncertainty in this process. The Warner Brothers Discovery acquisition is far from over, he observed. Netflix is the driver's seat, but there will be twists and turns before the finish line. Just come on, dude. Why do we have to make this like a dramatization? It's so annoying sometimes. Paramount will appeal to shareholders, regulators, and politicians to try to stymie Netflix. The battle could become prolonged. The mention of politicians is no doubt an allusion to Donald Trump. Uh, the president has a positive view of Paramount boss Larry Ellison, praised the Republican megadonor as an amazing man and amazing business person. Both of these bids are fraught with regulatory hurdles due to the sheer size of the companies involved. Yeah, these are pretty big players. I didn't even think, I should have known Netflix was gonna try to make a play for Warner Brothers. I don't know. I just didn't expect this so soon. But that's just what happens when you kind of tune out of this kind of stuff. Anyway, follows the media watch group FAIR has warned against Paramount's plans, believing would be dangerous for democracy. How so? For Ellison to what? Because Trump was favoring Paramount, and then they say that about Trump, and now it's already a threat to democracy for a company to acquire another one. That's interesting. It'd be funny if they thought that, and then like Trump's like, "All right, guys, we're gonna start streaming the White House. The White House streams. Truth Social's gonna get a video platform, and I'm gonna start live streaming on Twitch." That'd be fucking funny. for Ellison to own both CBS and CNN, and that seems to be the point. Meanwhile, unions have already expressed deep concern over the Netflix proposal. Yeah, bro, because everyone's, if you're on the losing side, of course you're going to express concerns. I don't think we should do this. I don't think they should do that because I'm going to lose all my fucking money. Fearing the streaming giant would try to reduce theatrical windows or potentially move films out of the theaters altogether. Yep, that's a very righteous and fair fear to have. It must be noted that these agreements will have a global impact, meaning international regulators will also be involved. Yep, that's what global means. I don't know why you guys say this shit twice to people. Journalists love repeating the same thing over and over. The last thing ends with a quote. The board's overriding priority, more than valuation, was choosing a bidder that could sign immediately, withstand regulatory scrutiny, and close on the terms required. A source close to Warner told Forbes. Far from settling the debate, it seems the auction has simply confirmed that Netflix is in first place, and the fate of Warner Brothers in DC will ultimately be decided by shareholders. I think Netflix is probably going to take this. Paramount, like, yeah, they can slap their dick on the table with more money, but I just don't know if it's going to really keep people interested as far as like the people that are signing the paper for this, signing on the dotted line. So I don't know. Yeah. Real quick. I'm off to bed later. What's all right? Peace out, man. See ya. Everyone knows Paramount will be better for theaters, but they're too blinded by politics to admit that. Yeah, that's what I've been seeing. Like, yeah, like the whole thing about Trump kind of saying, like, he publicly said that he favored a Paramount acquisition, and then of course, yeah, they're all going to jump over and be like, "Oh, Netflix is our bit daddy, and they should let Netflix have it." Sony just told people they won't get Demon Slayer other than theaters, and people went to theaters. Funny how Japan manages to get people in the box office despite being very technological. Yeah, no, like people will, if you build it, they will come. You know what I mean? And what was it? K-pop Demon Hunters, wasn't it streaming first on Netflix, and then they put it in theaters, and then they put it back on streaming, and then it went back to theaters? Am I not mistaken? Like, if I could be wrong about that, but that's what I kind of heard. I didn't watch K-pop Demon Hunters, but I know that the popularity for it kind of like was like, huh, and then they were like, oh, and then it went like, and then they were like, oh no, 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 we got more. So that could be it, man. I could be wrong though. Hale, what's up, Oddball? Hale, welcome in, man. Good to see you. I see Batman on the thumbnail. I click. Yeah, I went with a little retro from the Adam West TV show. That's actually from the Archie meets Batman 66 on the cover of one of their issues. Trump equals bad no matter what it means for their business, I guess. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna get like into all the politics of it, but yeah, there's people that say like the tariffs and all that stuff. Like he said that when implementing tariffs was going to be like suck at first, but we had to like weather the storm. But there's a lot of people that are kind of abandoning shit because they don't see a change in the economy, and then people don't want to spend money. So that can't be good for theaters either. People are pinching their pennies right now, especially during the holiday season. Trump supports Paramount. Now I know what side I'm on. Hey, man, it's a free country, so you're allowed to vote and believe whatever you like. Yeah, and Top Gun was in theaters for 7 months. Yeah, because that was a hit. That was a smash hit. Yeah, I heard. I was seeing that. I remember when that was happening. Top Gun was a smash hit. Yeah, but I don't know, man. Who knows? Like, I don't want to see theaters die. As a kid that grew up going to theaters with family members, my grandfather, my parents, uncles, and what have you, siblings still go to. We still go to the theater and go watch something when we meet up during the holidays. It's a little bittersweet. It's more than bittersweet, but I'm just trying to be a little nicer about it, I guess. It fucking sucks. That's what it that's what it does. It fucking sucks, and I want theaters to still be a thing. I want them to still release DVDs and Blu-rays. I don't want them to phase out things. Don't even get me started on the video game industry and what they're fucking doing to gamers. But I'll cover that on like a solo tirade, or maybe when I'm talking with the lads over on Unlimited. So, but yeah, we can go ahead and stop sharing this one because I just wanted to talk about that just for a moment with you guys, if you guys so choose. Blah blah blah. Physical media for life. Yes, yes. There is another. We are big purveyors and fans of physical media, guys. And like I said, if you guys are fans of physical media, over on the Discord, which is live right now, bam, you guys can go check it out. If you scroll up to the top of the chat, I don't know how to pin a comment, but like I said, this will be available in the comment section and the description of the video. We talk about comic books over there too, as well. We talk about videos and we share stuff. We also talk about physical media. Speaking of physical media that I was sharing on the Discord, I'll go ahead and hide that for now for just a moment. I wanted to share this with you guys all. Let me add it to the stage. That so what happened was recently I went actually to a local comic convention in my vicinity nearby, and this was no more than about like 45 minutes to an hour drive away from where I'm actually living. And I went there. I only paid $2 to get into this little like mini convention. It was like at a veterans hall. And dude, when I tell you, like, nothing but heat everywhere I was looking, like just peak fire, bro, peak fire for all, as the kids say. Nothing but amazing comics, amazing hauls, figures, vintage toys, the likes. It was just great, man. And some of the prices on stuff were kind of out there, you know. And I was kind of talking with one of my buddies that went with me. We were like discussing prices that we were seeing for X amount of like key issues and what have you. But when I came across stuff like this right here, like I just couldn't pass it up. So what I acquired was like, this was all wrapped up in like one big plastic like sleeve, and the guy had it only for $8 for all four of these books. So I went ahead and just pulled the trigger. And right here we have like the pocket editions of the original Star Wars Marvel Comics illustrated version, adapted by Roy Thomas. And then we have the comic book of The Empire Strikes Back, adapted in pocket edition as well, along with Return of the Jedi. So I got the original trilogy all in comic book form, and they're no more the size of like a pocket dictionary for these ones. A little bit on aware on the spines and like the edges as far as quality goes, but dude, it's not about that. If anything, I like these looking a little weathered and a little torn up, you know. It gives them more character. And then of course the piece de resistance of the pack was the Jedi Masters quiz book. Now, like I said, for those that were following me in the Discord when I posted this video, or this photo I should say, excuse me, uh this is the first time physically I've seen the Jedi Masters quiz book in person, and I just like fucking like just lost my mind when I saw this in the pack, because this is before Return of the Jedi ever came out, so it's only recognizing Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, and it's compiled by Rusty Miller. And this is a full-on fledged just deep dive like trivia questionnaire. And I was thumbing through it and the pages, and dude, like, it just looks amazing. The questions in there are some of the things that I never even thought of as like trivia questions for like the populace. But hardcore Star Wars fans, if we were like sitting there, I might even ask a couple of these questions in like polls on like X and on the YouTube page for the community tab. I might just like bite some of these questions, just as that's how good they are. And it was just sick, man. And the cover art right there with Yoda was just great. So I was really fortunate to find this. Like I said, I walked around this comic convention for, I want to say, about like, I was there for like 3 hours, and it wasn't that huge of a space. It couldn't have been no bigger than like the size of like the inside of like two McDonald's put together, if you want to like give it a comparison. But this was honestly great. Walking out after I already spent like $90 on like huge stacks of like DC and old indie comics, I saw this on the table for $8, and I had to grab it. I couldn't resist. So yeah, I just wanted to show that off and rub it in your guys' faces. I know I got a lot of Star Wars fans in the chat. If not all of the chat is Star Wars fans, so I know they'll appreciate this. And these are going to go up there with my expanded universe books on my Star Wars shelf. All right, we're going to go ahead and stop sharing that. Just wanted to glaze those real quick. How are we doing tonight, guys? Hope everybody's been doing well in the chat. Thank you guys for showing up tonight to talk about new comics. We're gonna ease into comic book recommendations here pretty soon. I'm trying to keep it nice and tight for the show tonight. And when I say nice and tight, I just mean on the time frame, trying to be a little bit smarter with my time and not waste too much of it. All right, real quick in the chat. Yeah, then Top Gun. Okay, we already got that one from John. Physical media for life. Yes, yes, indeed. John said it's always funny when some old movie makes tens of millions or a new one makes hundreds. If they made more good movies, they'd have healthy theaters. Yes, yes, they would, sir. I'm a huge fan of physical media. I didn't just buy Star Wars droids on DVD for nothing. Exactly. Like one day, this is what I say, Brandon. One day they're going to stop streaming things, certain things, not streaming like entirely in its in totality, but they're going to stop streaming certain movies and certain shows because they're too offensive, too crazy, too out there, or just the IPs are no longer supported. So I think that like how we get the disclaimers on the old Disney movies and the old Disney animated films, you get those disclaimers saying, "Oh, like please warning, like this could offend some viewers because it was a product of its time." Like that's just first steps for that kind of shit. Like pretty soon we're not going to see certain movies being even allowed to be streamed because everyone's going to be like, "Oh, this character said a racist comment in this movie, we can't stream something like that on our platform anymore." And you're gonna be like, "Fuck you!" And then you're gonna have the Blu-ray and a DVD or player or whatever. You're just gonna pop it in at home, and that's just honestly what you should just stick to, because streaming is never the finite method for watching all of your favorite movies and shows. You should just go and buy all the copies that you can yourself. Dude, I need to head over there sometime. My heart would burst. Yeah, yeah. Whoa, steal. Yep, yep, exactly. It was a steal. I was very fortunate for that one. Brandon said, I'm looking forward to testing my Star Wars knowledge. Yeah, yeah. If you're like I said, you follow the community, so I'll be posting some of the questions and some of the interior pages to show off to the members. Playing Arkham Origins right now is something for the Christmas season. I did see her playing Arkham Origins. You know, I was actually I streamed tonight. I was actually moseying around in my local town, and I stopped over there by the GameStop just for the fuck of it. And I asked, like, "Oh, do you guys have a Xbox 360 copy of Arkham Origins?" And they were like, "Oh, well, let's see," because all of a sudden GameStop starts carrying like older and retro games because they need all avenues of money that they can get. Of course. So anyway, they didn't have a copy of Arkham Origins, but it's a shame because Arkham Origins is not available. I have an Xbox One X, like the highest definition version of the Xbox One that you can get, and I have a PS4, and neither of those consoles have disc or have Arkham Origins available on the store. So I have to buy a physical copy, a disc copy of Arkham Origins if I would like to play it on my Xbox One X. And it just so happens it has to be an Xbox 360 disc. And it's kind of hard to kind of hard to come by. So just make TV shows. Yep. Yep. They could just make TV shows. This already happened. The movie Your Name, I bought it on streaming and it was deleted, and the new streaming version has no English songs. My Blu-ray has the best version with the songs. See, yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. They can delete anything they want. They're going to be deleting, watch, they're going to delete your access to games digitally one day. I'm telling you. I tried to get the Cold Heart DLC, but no luck. Didn't you have to get like the ultimate version or something like that, like the ultimate or the limited edition that came with the DLC? Because I know there wasn't no Game of the Year edition they did for that, was there? If I'm not mistaken. Got my PS3 Steelbook of Arkham Origins still. Yeah, man, I really slept on that. I had a copy of Arkham Origins on my 360 for years and years, and I have no idea what happened to it. I've been looking at I tore apart my mom's garage just to see if it was in a storage box or something, and nothing. So that's just that just sucks. Game of the Year version noted. Yeah, but it could be. I don't know if Arkham Origins got a Game of the Year version, but I could be wrong. So take that with a grain of salt. But all right, let's go ahead. And like I said, we're already over an hour. So let's go ahead and get towards the tail end. We're going to go ahead and get into some comic recommendations. Shuns. I don't have any voice effects, so that was the best I could give you. I recommend Cthulhu Saves Christmas for a great Christmas season game too. Okay, right on, man. Right on. Take a little game recommendation. That's nice. But all right, let's go ahead and do that into some comic book recommendations. These are comics that I have read, and I think you guys all should give them a chance as well. Let's go ahead and share my screen to show off the first one for you guys. All right, here we go. And share. Okay, so my first recommendation for you guys tonight, it's a newer book. It's a newer book, but I was at the shop in one of the cities nearby, and I was talking to the guy that was working there, and I was telling him how much I was into like the era of like, oh, like I like the pulpy Hanna-Barbera stuff, like I like the Shadow, and I like Space Ghost and Johnny Quest, that kind of stuff. So he recommended this to me, and I went ahead and gave it a read, and I actually liked this, man. It was great. It's from Dynamite Comics. It's a newer volume, but it's called Blue Falcon and Dynamut. And this is issue number 1. This is the cover that they have for it. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I was really I was actually impressed with like the take on this character. And I didn't think that I was gonna see something like this from this character. Like, I didn't expect seeing this character being brought back to life, but here we are. And the synopsis for this one reads, it's written by Jimmy Palmiotti, art by Pascal Colano, cover by Lucio Parillo. And everyone knows I like Lucio Parillo. He does great work. Secure in their luxurious penthouse high above the downtown streets, wealthy inventor and art collector Radley Crown and his faithful canine companion enjoyed a charmed existence until the fateful day a vicious gang of thugs shattered his complacency. In the aftermath of the vicious attack, Crown focused his incredible technical skills to rebuild both himself and his four-legged companion into the ultimate instruments of retribution, the Blue Falcon and Dynamut. Dog Wonder. Rated T, cover price is $4.99, 32 pages, full color. So, like I said, that's a nice little synopsis for you guys. Maybe you want a little more, but I don't want to spoil it, like I said. But also, one of the things that the guy at the shop was telling me too, like, the old school Blue Falcon and Dynamut stuff used to be really campy, really like Batman 1966 Adam West kind of shit. But this isn't. He said this isn't your dad's Blue Falcon book. Like, this is more little more on the edge, more gory side, and there's some breaking of the body and some good fight sequences. So I tend to agree with it. The art was a little more. The art left a little more to be desired as far as like the action shots, but I still liked it a lot. The story was pretty good. So yeah, my first recommendation for you guys tonight is going to be the Blue Falcon and Dynamut from Dynamite Comics, issue number 1. Go check it out. All right, so we're going to stop sharing that screen. Close that window. Right on. Okay, moving on to the next comic book recommendation for you guys. Next up, we have, let me get shared screen again. You think I'd be quicker at doing this after how many streams, guys? All right, so from DC Comics, we got a nice little Bronze Age tale for you. This is You Dare Not Miss the Final Epic Adventure of The Unknown Soldier. This is issue number 268, and the panel on the front right there is showing the Unknown Soldier in kind of a silhouette form with Nazi and SS soldiers screaming out, "Mein Gott, Adolf Hitler has committed suicide." Was it suicide or justice? So we got basically this is Unknown Soldier assassinates Adolf Hitler. I'm not going to go too much into detail. Like you might have to read this for yourself, but this one's a very good one. The Chat Noir, High Sparrow, and the Unknown Soldier are killed in action. The Unknown Soldier assassinates Hitler. That's all it gives. That's not really a spoiler for anybody that might be interested into this. If you hear the words kill and assassinate, so just go ahead and read it for yourself before you start jumping to conclusions. This is comic books after all, guys. So don't take everything at face value when somebody types up a synopsis. But The Unknown Soldier, issue number 268. Go check this one out. Nice little like flavor if you guys are into like war comics and a little bit of that kind of jazz. So that's my second recommendation for you guys tonight. All right, Unknown Soldier. Okay. Brandon said, I love the Bronze Age, and the Bronze Age loves you, Brandon. They love you too. All right. And my last recommendation for you guys know how I do. I always do 3 recommendations for you every week. And last but not least, let's go ahead and get it on screen. This one's great, man. This one is good. For all my sci-fi nerds, like I said, I know we got Star Wars people in the room, but my sci-fi heads are going to like this. Even if you're a Trekkie, you'll like this. This is Invasion Book 1, titled The Alien Alliance. And, this one's really good, man. I had a fucking fun time reading this one. The artwork is of the 80s. It's all like a little bit dull in the pastels with color wave wise, but this one was just a blast, dude. I love the alien design in this one. I love the whole abduction kind of point of view, and like the monologue that said like, they came to us in the night. Like, it's so great, dude. But the synopsis that they put out this for, written by Keith Griffin and Bill Mantlo, art by Todd McFarlane and Craig Russell. So there you go. If you didn't know, there's a little Todd McFarlane little Easter egg for you. When a coalition of alien empires decide to invade planet Earth, the world's greatest heroes unite. But against the power of the stars aligned against them, not even the world's greatest heroes may be enough to save the planet this time. 80 pages featuring early artwork by Spawn creator Todd McFarlane. Cover price $2.95. So, dude, I'm telling you, like, I don't really like to say too much as far as like spoiler goes, but the story is great. This is a fun one, and it's a 3-part series: Invasion Book 2, Battleground Earth, and then Invasion Book 3, World Without Heroes. Okay, so you get a little tie-in towards the end, and then it's revealed that it's the DC heroes, the Justice League, and all of them that are basically going against the Alien Alliance. So, but book 1 was fantastic read. Go check it out if you are into something like this. Sci-fi heads alike, as well as superhero fans, can get a kick out of this. So that is my third and final recommendation for you guys: Invasion Book 1, The Alien Alliance, published in 1988. All right, let's go ahead and close that one, and that is a wrap. Right on. Brandon said, "Wow, that looks cool." Yeah, man, check it out. I will. Like I said, I said it 3 times already. Todd McFarlane, let's go. Hell yeah, brother. Uh, in closing with that, all like I said, oh, there's a lot of chats. Sorry, I'm scrolling to the top so I can see. All right. So, like I said, guys, the Discord server is live for the YouTube channel and the streams that we do here on the channel as well. And you guys can also see some of the stuff I'm posting on X. But over there, we discuss the floppy books. We have conversations about Star Wars Expanded Universe, as well as all the tisms and the dumb shit that we talk about in Unlimited Tirade. And we have a couple of the hidden channels on the server, a little bit more for the guys that are I guess you could say, purveyors and connoisseurs of other things in life, men love. So go check out the server if you haven't already. The link is posted here in the chat, and I will post the link in the description. I bring this up to say all 3 of the recommendations that I put out tonight for my comic book reads of the week are going to be posted in the floppy category for the Discord server for the decrepit shadow of the realm. I think that's what I called it. Realm of the Shadows, whatever. I forget what I called it already. That says something in itself. But anyway, enough about that. I just wanted to glaze the Discord one more time. If you guys haven't already, go check it out. And that'll be tonight's show, man. I wanted to keep it nice and compact for all of this. Hopefully, you guys are able to get to some of those recommendations. Hopefully, you guys are also able to get to your LCS, your local shops for the week, and go pick something up off your pool list. Maybe you saw something that I went over today or discussed that you might want to go give it a chance, give it a shot. That Absolute Batman number 15. Maybe you like the way that Joker looks. Maybe you want to go see that one. All right. You never know. Maybe the Batman and Robin book speaks to you. Maybe something from Marvel might speak to you, and maybe you disagree with me. We can also talk about that too. And we have debate and discussion areas for you available as well in the Discord. So with that being said, thank you for the recommendation. Yeah, no problem. You're welcome. That's what we're here for. If you're watching this on the replay or you were here during the chat and you didn't get a chance to say it now, go ahead and make sure to drop your recommendations in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you, and the community would love it as well. So with that all being said, we're going to go ahead and end the live stream right there and then. Hope you guys all have a great week. Enjoy your floppy book readings. And remember, may the force be with you all, and go fuck yourself. Good night, everybody.